with hints, tips and tradie chat. Grab yourself a brew because it's about to start. This is Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky.
Before the show starts, I just quickly wanted to talk to you about Tradify. Tradify is a fast-growing job management platform for all busy tradespeople. It's great for managing all sorts of business admin such as quotes, tracking invoices, timesheets and appointments, leaving you more time to focus on other important things. Tradify have very kindly given me a discount code for my viewers, so check them out by clicking the link in my show description and using discount code AMY50 to get 50% off. Now, let's crack on with this show.
Hello and welcome to Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky. Today I'm going to be talking to Louise from Her Home Improvements. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I only recently found your account, to be honest, because I was talking to Ruth a couple of weeks ago, HVAC Girlo, and we were talking about you. She's a big fan. She was telling me how she's going to get you to do her house for her. I don't know if you know that you're doing that, but
this is news to me. Thanks,
you're going
Amy.
to Dublin, so that'll be nice.
Great.
I'm going for a night out, so we'll go at the same time, and then we can all go.
Oh, right. So this is a full kind of, you need all the tradeswomen to sort the house out job.
Well, yeah. Oh, do you know what? That's a good idea, actually. I was thinking just a weekend going out, but if Ruth needs to have to, we might as well crack on. Get that done.
I feel like I'm getting myself into this situation now that I didn't quite realise until now.
I've tricked you.
Yeah.
No, that's how I found out about you. So you are going over there to do that. So good luck.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, tell us a bit about you then. Tell us about your work first of all, what you do, because you do everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started more so with kind of small repairs and things like that. But I always had an aim to kind of get into larger projects such as bathroom refurbs, purely because I felt like it's something you can kind of get your teeth into for a while, and use lots of different skills, and yeah, just kind of make really good transformations. So I feel like in terms of, job satisfaction, that's quite nice because you really do see quite a dramatic difference. So that was always kind of the goal. And yeah, ultimately to be able to learn and do as much as I possibly can within a property, really, with a view to probably ending up in property development at some point. Yeah, I don't know, it's something I've always wanted to do. So started small, like I say, with the repairs and things, and like to be where I am now, actually on quite a few bathroom refurbs. I'm quite happy with how quickly that seems to have progressed. So hopefully I'll have a few houses like in another couple of years. So
that's brilliant. So how long have you been doing it?
About 3 years now.
Okay.
So not very long. But yeah, obviously with COVID happening, that's kind of slowed things down for a little while. So prior to COVID, I feel like that pre-COVID and sort of, not post-COVID, but, now kind of stage, there's been quite a dramatic difference, I think, for me, business-wise. It feels like my work pre-COVID was more kind of smaller jobs with the occasional larger job, whereas now I feel like people are probably investing money into their properties rather than other things right now, and that is why there has been such a high demand for larger projects, I suppose.
We're finding that we're so busy. So like everybody I speak to generally is really busy at the minute. I think lots of people are investing in their properties. So yeah, it's good for us.
It is very good for us, although I feel like as soon as everyone's able to go on holiday, we'll all be broke. So
yeah, start saving now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll be on holiday too, because we bloody deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, a break would be nice here and there, I suppose.
Yeah. So, what did you do before? I'm just curious.
Directly before getting into trades, I worked for the NHS in mental health services.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, quite a big difference. But yeah, I always wanted to kind of be in trade. So I think I remember sort of the first sort of memories was maybe around 1920 when I was like, okay, I want to be a plasterer. And I seriously looked into it. I was looking into vans, courses, all sorts of things. And circumstances at the time didn't really allow me to do that. But it's always sort of been a goal. And I remember I was working with adults with autism and sort of, you know, various different needs really, back in the day. And I remember one guy, he was like, so what are your goals for working in this job, blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm really sorry. I was like, I don't really have any. Like, my goal is to kind of get into trades. And he looked at me and laughed, and he was like, yeah, good luck. I was just like,
really?
Mate, yeah. There was a man, and I just thought, you know what, like, that always sticks with me, that particular memory. But I thought, you know what, like, you don't know who you're talking to, because if I want to do something, like, I will find a way to achieve that. And it may take me, I mean, essentially it took me the best part of 10 years, but I'm here now. So, you know,
it just makes you more determined, doesn't it? If people don't, you know, have faith in you, don't believe you can do it, you just get more determined and think, right, I'm gonna have to do it now.
100%. I think for me, like, I've always wanted to have my own business. I've always wanted to sort of run my own show. I've never really liked the fact that people in, you know, general kind of employment roles, you know, their bosses have complete power over their financial situation, which therefore is power over your life. And I never wanted that. I wanted some sort of stability that I could create for myself. So I feel like, you know, that was really my main driving factor, and the fact that I used to love DIY. So you know, hand in hand, really. Yeah,
a trade is good for that, isn't it? You can, you know, once you sort of know what you're doing and you've built up your, you know, kit, you've got a van, you can earn as much as you want, depending on how much you want to put into it, how many hours and days you want to put into it. But the, you know, the opportunity is there to go out, and if you're willing to work, you can really earn some good money, can't you?
Yeah, well, this is it. I think, yeah, obviously financial gain is good, but really for me, it was always more kind of that security that I can create for myself, and the job satisfaction, really, because I used to never look forward to going to work, really. And although I feel like I was pretty good in all the jobs that I've done, because I always, you know, I would always try and be the best that I could be, and no matter what I was doing, I was never happy or excited to go to work. Like, whereas I don't dread getting up to work. So yeah, I never dread it. I never dread it. I'm always, I mean, sometimes I'm knackered, obviously, but I never think, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I'm so miserable, like, apart from just being generally old and miserable.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, apart from that, it's good. So I'm pretty happy with where I am professionally. So
yeah, brilliant. So training wise, you obviously didn't do the apprenticeship or anything like that. What sort of courses and stuff did you do to help you get to you know, get qualified in what you wanted to do?
So when I was thinking about becoming a plasterer a few years back, I looked into courses with a company called Able Skills in Dartford, which is where I'm based. And yeah, so I was always aware of their courses and what they offered. But like I say, circumstances at the time didn't allow me to go and complete anything. So I always had in the back of my mind that when I was ready to go, that would be the company that I would use to gain the skills that I needed if I hadn't found another route in. So I decided I'd go and do a multi-craft diploma with them. So it's a City and Guilds qualification. So yeah, like it's self-funded, full-time course. So you just choose your topics, so you can kind of make your own bespoke package, and obviously the price tag depends on what you select. And then just do sort of, you know, it's only kind of like level 1 basic stuff. So I was only there for 2 months full time, and obviously had to take 2 months unpaid leave from work as well. So overall, it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
If you think about the money that you're losing for 2 months of full-time work and then the investment into the course as well, that together, I think for me it's about £7,500 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a big commitment, but that was my route in. I didn't really see any other route in. I had my sort of DIY skills. I had some basic knowledge in the topics that I wanted to study, but I just wanted a bit of confidence and a qualification to back me up, really. So that's what I did.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. What I didn't even know courses like that existed, but that's really good. If they're sort of like tailor-made, you can pick what you what you want to do. So what topics did you choose then?
So I chose tiling, plastering, plumbing and carpentry.
Wow.
Yeah, so tiling I absolutely loved. Like I'd done a little bit, but not much. And what I had done was awful.
I've never had a go at tiling. I don't know if I'd be any good at it, but I'd love to have a go.
Do you know what? Like with the right guidance, you'd be fine. But what the first sort of go that I had pre any sort of real training, like it's not good, and I still have to look at it every now and again, and it's a bit disappointing and a bit painful. But hey, it's in my mum's house, so yeah, I get to look at that sometimes. I'm like, yeah, there's a stark reminder of why you should do some training. But yeah, I loved the tiling. I liked the plumbing. I picked up the plastering pretty easily, which is surprising because the guys that were training us sort of said, like, you're either going to get it or you won't. And you could really see that across the different people in the training centre. Some people loved it, some people just couldn't get the knack. But I didn't really like carpentry, and I don't do much carpentry now. I just I do what I have to do, but it's not something that kind of excites me.
Okay. What's your favourite thing to do now?
Like, I mean, I do like tiling. I do like plastering. I feel like that's probably the two things that I'm better at, naturally kind of better at.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, anything that kind of just involves a little bit of variety. So, like I say, like bathrooms or just small repairs, like a bunch of small repairs in someone's house. Like I've had quite a few of those kind of jobs where people have obviously either attempted themselves during lockdown, or they just realised how much stuff they needed to attend to. So stuff like that just kind of gives me a little bit of variety. I don't like to get bored, like, when I'm working. Like, I like that variety.
Yeah. So what have you got any sort of standout jobs that you remember that you've sort of been like favourite jobs, or jobs that you were really proud of, that you sort of at the beginning you thought, oh God, I'm not sure about this, it's going to be a struggle, and then you've smashed it?
I think that about every job. I think I have a little panic at the beginning of every job, like, I can't do this, and then I do it and I'm like, smashed it, knew I could. Obviously. Yeah, I pretty much think every job I'm like, I'm never kind of cocky about it. I've networked quite well with various people that I can pick up the phone and be like, I'm not too sure about this. Can you just like point me in the right direction? Or can I hand it over to you and you complete this element of the work? So
that's amazing. So yeah, backup and support.
Yeah, definitely.
You feel better, don't you, about taking jobs on, because you always got in the back of your mind that if you were desperate, if you needed help or advice. And I've said it before, that's what I've loved about Instagram, because I've met lots of people that have really helped me out.
Yeah, no, it's been very good for networking, for sure. So I had to do that quite hard networking when I started as her home improvements. But in terms of answering the actual question, probably I think it's the last bathroom refurb that I've posted on my Instagram account, where it's basically a whole bunch of white Metro tiles. It was a full rip out. Was it the first one? I'm not sure if it's the first one I did entirely on my own. Certainly the first one of that scale entirely on my own. It took me sort of, the best part of 2 weeks. And and the floor was up, like new floors, new walls, like in places. It was an absolute full refurb. But looking at the before and after, like I was really, really like proud of that, to be honest. And I never would have thought 3 years ago that would be something that I could achieve at this point. So that was awesome. I was very happy with that.
That's amazing. Is there any other female traders in your area that you work with, or is it just you?
So I, as I say, I networked quite hard when I started with her home improvements, because when I wasn't really ready to launch as self-employed, but circumstances with my family pretty much meant that I had to. There was some stuff going off, and yeah, basically I was needed by them. So I was like, great, okay, I'm not ready, but I'm going to have to kind of like make this work, really. So I networked very, very hard at the start. I was like, right, I need to contact all the women that I can possibly find that could help me. And obviously, no, not excluding guys, but obviously I had a focus with networking with other tradeswomen. So yeah, I sought out Wendy, female tiler, because I needed a tiling contact, obviously. I sought out Ella and Kate, Plastered Sisters. So yeah, because I was like, damn, I'm going to need some help on the plastering front. I have worked with Tash from Get Her Trades a few times. The last bathroom refurb I did was alongside Tash. So Emma Plumhurst, she is about 20 minutes down the road from me.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so in terms of plumbing contact, like she's the most local. So when I'm too weak to get a stopcock off, I'll ring her up and say, can you just go and do that for me, because I've got no muscles. But yeah, so there's a few people around, but I've met a few different people, like pre-lockdown. Like I say, at the time, it was a real big focus to just try and sort of network with as many people that were skilled in their trade as possible, because I was very, very like new. Obviously, I'd had no one had taken me under their wing or anything like that. I'd not been anyone's apprentice. So it was like, I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to start sort of relatively modest like jobs in terms of repairs and things, but I'm going to need these people. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I did.
Brave. It's scary starting out. And like you say, you're on your own, really, just going for it. And sometimes, although it's difficult because you feel like you're just thrown in the deep end, sometimes that's the best way, because you have to make it work. Like in your situation at the time, it had to work, and that's why you work so hard with networking and just getting on with it, because that's your only option. And
basically that, Amy. Yeah, basically that. That's pretty much what I had to do. And I'm very grateful for the circumstances that pushed me into this when it did, because obviously here I am now. You know, hopefully at some point able to kind of like help other people as well.
Yeah.
And I do occasionally get like people messaging, or you know, like other people in trade sort of asking my opinion. And I'm clearly I don't know like everything at all, but if I can offer them any kind of guidance, like the things that I've learned that I didn't know, like, you know, a few years ago, then of course I'm going to give that. So
that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what this podcast is about. And I think I've released 9 episodes, and the last few weeks especially, I've had a lot of messages on Instagram from young girls, some lads as well, but a lot of girls, which is really encouraging, that just want advice, and I don't know, they want the sort of you know, basically they want me to say all the positive things, like, yeah, it's fine, it's going to be okay, yeah, you're going to come across this, but in the end it's the best thing I've ever done, and it is. So yeah, it's working. You know, this is what I wanted from the podcast, to encourage other girls into it. So yeah, you might get people messaging you, and you can tell them how amazing it is being in the trade.
I mean,
soon there'll be just tons of us. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously it's taken me a little while to get back to you,
Yeah.
Sorry.
I messaged Ruth again. I was like, Ruth, tell Louise to message me back. I really want to talk to her. And she's like, I'll do it now.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just been busy, both professionally and personally. It's just been busy. But I had to think about it. Literally, like, I don't know. I think it was last night or today, and I was like, do you know, like, something like this, when I was looking to get into trades, would have been really helpful and motivational and encouraging and hopefully inspiring to me. So it kind of gave me the shove that I needed. I thought, you know, like, I can be miserable and antisocial if I want to be, but actually, you know, by coming on here and giving a little bit of insight into how that I entered into what I do now, and what I've achieved in a relatively short space of time, could actually be quite helpful to some, you know, some other people out there. So that's really what kind of prompted me to get in touch with you. And I thought, yeah, I was like, come on, like, so, you know, when I kind of flipped it, because I don't really want to kind of, you know, I don't really like just kind of talking about myself like too much, really. And yeah, like, sometimes I feel like all the camera stuff is quite forced, but I'm putting myself out here in the hope that it might help someone. So.
Well, thanks so much. I do really appreciate it. I know it's not, you know, it's difficult for some people. I, believe it or not, don't like being on camera. I don't like the sound of my own voice at all, and I haven't watched any of these episodes back, because. Really? Yeah, especially last week's. I watched sort of the first 10 seconds to make sure it's recorded properly before I send it for the video to be put together. And last week, it was just, all you could see was my double chins. I was just like, for God's sake, I just thought, oh, it's going out anyway. So today I've put my laptop on top of my bread bin to bring it up a bit, so it's...
Good for you.
I'm such a professional.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm the same as you, Amy. Honestly, like, I don't like the way that I sound. I don't like the way that I look. Like, I just think, do you know what? But I can't change that. So, you know, here I am, hopefully being helpful to someone.
Just put yourself out there. What was I going to ask you? Oh, advertising. So I know that you've got a truck, but it's not sign written. So how do you advertise? Do you advertise local magazines, or is it? Does a lot of your work come from word of mouth, or?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I don't advertise.
That's amazing, considering that you've been, 3 years.
Yeah, honestly, I do not invest a penny in advertising.
Wow.
So I have business cards, obviously, that I give generally to customers that ask for them, or, you know, people that I come into contact with. Clearly not lately because of COVID, but you know, I have business cards that exist, should the need arise. But other than that, I get contacted through my Facebook page.
Yeah.
I rarely get contacted through Instagram. I think I can count on one hand how many inquiries that I've had through Instagram.
Okay.
Other than that, I believe a lot of it comes from referrals from other tradespeople that are aware of me and what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that is pretty much the main source of my work, really. Okay. So yeah. It's good. It's good. I mean, my brother gave me the best piece of advice when I was starting up, and he literally said, Louise, you need to just have fingers in pies. And I was like, okay, but it stuck with me. And actually, like, you know, it's true. The more people that you know, and the more people that are aware of what you do, and the more things that you can kind of, I don't know, just sort of get involved in here and there, it only benefits you, because you never know, like, when you may need sort of somebody. So yeah, like, professionally, I think contacts really count.
Yeah. Wow, that's brilliant. That is.
I mean,
you don't have to spend any money on advertising. But...
I mean, it saves me a lot of effort.
Well, yeah. So What about like tooling? Because if you do a bit of everything, you must have to have tons of tools. Like obviously, I've got just electrical kit. Do you have to have everything? Like, have you got a garage full of stuff?
Amy, honestly, I cannot tell you. I tell you, like, I have more tools than anything else that I own. Like,
God.
honestly, that's not an exaggeration at all. Yeah, like the things that I own are probably 80% tools, 20% like, you know, necessary possessions, should I say. But I also love tools, so it really doesn't take me much to be like, oh yeah, I really need that, / don't need it but really want it. Yeah, so that's like DIY stores are like my, you know, like my Aladdin's cave. Like it's the best thing ever. So yeah, like I love tools and I have a lot of them. Yeah, of course. But for me, I never leave anything in my truck overnight. I'm always changing the jobs that I do. So I have a big kind of like big part of my week is spent loading, unloading, reorganizing, restacking tools. So I have to know.
How you do it. If you don't keep it all on. You just think about that job or that day or week and organize those things that you know that you're going to need, put them on the truck, and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Put them on the truck, offload them. Yeah, offload them on site and leave them there, hopefully, for the week or the duration. And then, yeah, like unload them all the other end. Like, and that is the worst thing at the end of the night when you've got to unload, I don't know, 100 kilos worth of tools because you've got all your bloody boxes that weigh about 30 kilos each. It's
horrible in the winter. I hate it in the winter. You know, when it's cold and dark and you're trying to unload all your stuff, and I think, oh, in the summer it's not as bad, but I can't imagine having to, because obviously I've only got my like electrical kit and I know where everything is, but I can't imagine how much you've got and having to sort it all.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's a lot of effort, but you know, I wouldn't have it any other way because I would hate to come out to my vehicle in the morning and everything's gone.
I know.
It's not worth it.
Awful, isn't it? I see so many like van thefts or, you know, vans getting broken into on Facebook. It's like every day. It's disgusting. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's just, I mean, I love my truck. So if anyone broke into that, there would be, is that your chicken, Amy? You got dinner in the oven. I mean, I feel like you're not really prioritising.
It's like 9:30 at night, but I decided that I wanted chicken salad. So before we started chatting, I put chicken in the oven. So that's my timer to say my chicken it's one of them ones in the bag because he was washing a tray from a chicken, not me. So apparently now you have to open the bag, baste the chicken, put it back in for 20 minutes. So, but it'll be all right for a little bit longer because, you know, because you're so experienced with cooking chickens that you know that it's going to be all right for like a few minutes longer while we round up our conversation. Proper shame me up now. Everybody on Instagram knows I don't cook anyway because I always put my stupid dinners on there. That's like literally waffles and beans. 4 nights this week, and the other night was a microwave meal. But yeah, today I wanted a chicken, so I'm cooking a chicken. Brilliant. That's interrupting our podcast. Like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So unprofessional. Look, don't worry about it. Like, I understand that you've got a need to eat, especially if you've been living off of waffles and beans all week. Like, I actually feel that you should attend to that chicken for your own health and safety. There's a massive shortage of waffles at my Tesco, you know. Is that why you've got a chicken? Every time I go in, I buy 2 boxes of 18. That's all I eat. I'm a bit disappointed with my new toaster since I moved because my last toaster, used to toast my waffles in 6 minutes, and I had it all like sorted. I could do my avocado, my scrambled egg, and my beans in those 6 minutes, and it was all on the plate within 6 minutes. This toaster's a bit slow. I did them for 7 minutes in the week, but they were still a bit, you know, pale. So I'm doing them for 8, and it's put all my timing out. I didn't even know, Amy, that you could cook waffles in a toaster. No, that's why I eat them all the time because they're gluten free. And You can do them in the toaster. You don't ever have to turn the oven on. It's amazing.
You've blown my mind. Honestly, I don't even remember the last time I ate a waffle, if I'm honest. So
You have to have them for breakfast now. Have waffles and beans. Do them in the toaster. Let me know how you get on.
I'm very routine when it comes to breakfast. So I'm all about my cereal. So.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Sorry, it's a bit boring.
Have it for dinner one day. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I've totally lost my thread of what I was talking to you about.
Because you need your chicken. You need your chicken out of the oven.
Yeah, my chicken's going to be mad dry if I leave it much longer.
Oh, right.
It smells beautiful. Really.
I'm very pleased for you.
Say that again.
I said I'm very pleased for you.
Thank you. I'll let you know what it tastes like. I'm going to have it with a bit of salad. I've got some gluten-free pita bread, so I might taste one of them and put it, chicken salad pita, just in case you were all wondering what I was going to do with the chicken when it's cooked.
If it's not burnt.
Right, I'm going. Thanks so much for talking to me and sharing your, journey of how you've got to where you are. You've done really, really well in 3 short years. You've done amazing, and I'm glad that you're finally happy in your job and you found your passion.
Thank you very much.
And you're at Her Home Improvements, yeah? For anyone that wants to do and question you. And,
yeah, thanks.
I'm at Amy the Sparky if you want any cooking tips. Get at me on Instagram. Also, possibly electrical questions I might be able to answer, or
just don't ask me about dishwashers.
Oh no, don't bring up the dishwasher. Don't bring up the dishwasher. I'm going before you shame me even more.
Sorry.
Lovely to talk to you. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye.
That was Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky. Never miss an episode by subscribing now. Just hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on.